have a dialogue with this, are living in Binah and making new formations. And my question is related with the contrast, let's say. I was wondering at you, what do you think that is the symbolism of the tree of death? Because the book of Sohar speaks it a lot, the angel of death and the tree of death. And I was thinking in our daily life, of course. So I don't know if you have something about this idea. Mm-hmm. Yes. Great. Yes. Yes, I have it open. Yes. Yes. I'm. We can start. This painting is really beautiful. It took my attention. I don't know, but yes, yes, yes. If it. To, yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a beautiful work. We can see flowers and a cliff and something, and the nature, and we can see also a woman praying. Yes, inside the cliff. It seems, like, but we can see suffering from her, like almost blood. Or it looks like a triangle, I think. Oh yes, yes, yes. Of course, yes. Yes, I am ready. Mm-hmm. Shalom, Felipe. Yes. Okay. Okay. May I read it? Okay. Yes. Yes. So Shemot, Exodus chapter 33. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, Depart, go up hence, to and the people that thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, unto the land of which I swore unto Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, unto thee seed I will give it. And I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanite, the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, into a land flowing with milk and honey, for I will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on him his ornaments. And the Lord said unto Moses, Say unto the children of Israel, You are a stiff-necked people. If I go up into the midst of thee for one moment, I shall consume thee. Therefore now put off thee ornaments from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee. And the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments from Mount Horeb onward. Now Moses used to take the tent and to pitch it without the camp, afar off from the camp. And he called it the tent of meeting. And it came to pass that every one that saw the Lord went out into the tent of meeting, which was without the camp. And it came to pass when Moses went out into the tent, that all the people rose up and stood, every man at his tent door, and looked after Moses, until he was gone into the tent. And it came to pass when Moses entered into the tent, the pillar of cloud descended, and stood at the door of the tent. And the Lord spoke with Moses. And when all the people saw the pillar of cloud stand at the door of the tent, all the people rose up and worshipped, every man at his tent door. And the Lord spoke unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he would return into the camp. But his minister Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, depart not out of the tent. And Moses said unto the Lord, See, thou sayest unto me, Bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight. Now therefore, I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy ways, that I may know thee, to the end that I may find grace in thy sight. And consider that this nation is thy people. And he said, My presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And he said unto him, If thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For wherein now shall it be known that I have found grace in thy sight? I and thy people, is it not in that thou goest with us, so that we are distinguished, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth? And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. And he said, Show me, I pray thee, thy glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee. And I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. And he said, Thou canst not see my face, for man shall not see me and live. And the Lord said, Behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon the rock. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand until I have passed by. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back, but my face not. shall not be seen. Yes, I can hear. I can hear it. Let me see if the. Yes, it. Yes, I can hear. Yes, I think that Philip has a problem. Let me see. Mm. Okay. Yes. Yes. To show me. Yes. I pray to glory. Show me your glory. Uh, he responds that he will make the goodness pass before Moses, and he will cover Moses with his hand, and Moses will be able to see his back, but not his face. We take it literally. Yes. 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 It is the fact. Yes. 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 It is a kind of it. It is very cloudy and very thin rain. Yes. Yes. I can hear. He said that on YouTube only my voice is coming out. Let me assess that. It's interesting because on YouTube, really, it is only my voice that is coming out. You know? Yes. No. Okay. Okay. I am here. If Felipe could enter, we can speak a little to him a message. Okay. Hello, Felipe. Can you hear me? I don't know if you are using the OBS studio. Hello. Yes. What are you using to broadcast? I don't know. Yes. It may be muted on OBS studio. Uh, your microphone. You know. Now I can hear you. It. No, no. On YouTube, you're.
Hello? Hello, Fernando, can you hear? Hello? Fernando? Hello, Fernando? Hello?
Hello, Eti.
Hello, I can hear you now. Can you hear?
Okay, yes,
Why?
now everything
It's fine.
it's
I'm
all right.
sorry.
Yes.
We had to bring the new set, everything. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
on YouTube as well. Yes.
Yes, I see that maybe Felipe can hear us. I'll stream again. Stop streaming. There's something coming on a second. There is no. Yeah? Yes, coming. It is coming. There's a picture coming on YouTube, yes? Yes, I see a picture. I mean, I see the text. And Fernando?
Yes.
Yes. So.
Okay.
So we were speaking about, and I hope that Felipe will give us a confirmation as well. And we were speaking about the conversation between the Lord and Moses. God says, and you'll see my back, but you'll not see my face. You see the signals which are coming from me, but you'll not see me. So, in a similar way, Baal HaTanya says that the Torah, the written letters, in a way are what comes from the inner sphere. It's not the sphere itself. The letters are just a reflection, just a back, a signal from the light itself. It's not the light itself. But it's quite a long article. So I would say, and I would take it even a bit to each and every one life experience, what we see, what the signals that we get, the things that we read, it's not things that themselves, it's like a reflection that comes to us. This is it.
It is beautiful, Etienne. If I may ask you.
Yes.
Because we could, please correct me, okay? But from this statement, we could think that the text that we are reading are the shell, right? The external shell of the light,
Yes.
maybe.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, the wither, it's like what comes, it's the external expression of the light. It's not the light itself. It's expression that helps us to communicate, but it's not the light itself. Yes, yes, you're right. You're right.
And I was wondering, when we make this process of permutating letters and amplifying the symbols, this could be the path to enter in this more proximately to this light or something like this.
Yes, yes. This is what Weinreb speaks about. Yes. This is why we are trying in a way to overcome or to bridge the appearance of letter and go to the absolute. This is it. Because my back, Eta Horai, this is 620. 620 is the value of Keter, crown. In other words, God says to Moses,
Wow.
Yes? This is my back, what you experience, yes? And crown, the sphere of crown, or infinite, sometimes we call it infinite, and sometimes we call it crown, is just a middle. It's a communication between us and the infinite Keter, meaning the infinite comes and communicate to us through crown. This is it. But not as itself. We see a leaf falling from the tree, or we see a drop of rain. A drop of rain is a manifestation of the One, but you see, we see many things. We experience many colors, we experience many sounds that are coming from the source, that are coming from the origin, but they are expression of the origin, not the origin itself.
And yet here in this passage, we can see some reference to Shekhinah, because we can see like Vayomer Hashem Chine Makom Iti, a place, right? A place
Yes.
in the Zohar lecture. It is often attributed to Shekhinah, that is the place where we gather this light. And also that the Lord said that the kavod, the glory, will be seen, and in the verse 18, right?
Yes.
And kavod also brings this idea from Shekhinah. And the Shekhinah would be this external, this middle, maybe this instrument that mediate the Ora Ein Sof, this light of the infinite, and our experience. Is that right?
Yes, yes. The Shekhinah is also related to language, to Safa, and Balatanya says that the letters are existing in us. The letters are existing in us in 3 dimensions. In the thinking, there are letters which are existing as a mist in us, as hevel. There are letters that we are speaking via voice, and those letters are being heard also. And he says, and this is very interesting what you say, because you read it as the Shekhinah, Makom. And we say that Makom, a place, is also Shekhinah, is also Safa, is also a language. And Balatanya says that when we think, and now it doesn't matter in which language we think, our ability to think comes to us in letters, which comes as words and sentences. So there is a dimension in us that think through the letters. There is a dimension in us that the letters are forming like in a mist, and there are letters that we speak and we create words. Those are few dimensions: the thinking, the hearing, the speaking. But all of those dimensions of communications are not the origin itself, only a reflection of the origin. It's like using Plato parable. It's like the shadows. Yes, the letters, the language are just a shadow, not the thing itself.
Yes. It is interesting, Eti, also, because let's think about this experience.
Yes.
We are not native. I am not a native speaker of English, and I am not a native speaker of Hebrew. It is very difficult to me to speak in English and to read in Hebrew and to think about some words. And often I think, oh, I hope it could grasp what is beyond what I speak, because it is only a little, it is very difficult to translate in words the ideas that are behind what we speak, right? And when we have a conversation, maybe it has something that goes this, that makes this bridge of understanding, that goes beyond the words that are being spoken, that are going. I don't know what you think about it.
Yes, the silence. It's not just the words and the letters, just the silence. And the silence is also called makom. Yes. What do you think when you read this text? What comes to you?
This text, while I was reading here, in this place, right, in this place of these classes, many ideas came to me, like, wow, what this could mean, because it is we have a lot of symbols here. So
this is quite a deep article of Balatanya about the text, because usually we think, when people read the text, they think that, okay, Moses is there and there's like kind of formation of God, and God says, like, I will not show you as I am, you cannot see me. And so, but this is a conversation between Moses and the infinite within himself. And he says, and also Philon speaks about it, what our senses are capturing is only a part or a signal, because our senses are limited, our thoughts are limited, and what we get is just a shadow of a shadow of a shadow of a shadow that reach our system, which is also limited. Our life, human life here, are limited. They have like a border, I would say. And what we get is something that fits our signal being here. This is quite a
limitation.
Yes. According to our limitations, we get the signals according to our vessel, basically according to our limitation here. Something that will not destroy us. If the signal will be strong or too strong, we could not hold here. So everything comes with measure. Also the communication. This is why God says, you will see my back. You will see only what comes and dresses the light, which dresses itself in crown. And already crown, keter, has associated in the Hebrew nikud with kamatz. Kamatz is the sound of a in Hebrew, and this sound comes with keter. Why keter? Because keter as crown, as the first sphere from up, kamatz is portion. The keter portions how much light will come through the 10 spheres.
E.T.
Yes.
I was reading because a friend of mine sent me a letter.
Yes.
With the Kohelet tree, with that passage from Ecclesiastes.
Mm-hmm.
There is a time to, and a time to, that
yes,
a time to plant and a plant and a plant. Yes. And I could remember a class that you gave us some years ago about this scripture, and I was counting the it, because always we have the it that is time,
yes,
but it's related with Sefiradat, to know, and it is very binary, that text. there is a time to plant, and there is a time to seed, and a time to the harvest, and there is a time to be happy and a time to be sad, let's say, just to illustrate the idea. And if we count the it's, we can find 29. And it's interesting because 28 it's are binaries, a time to make the A and a time to make the B. There is 28. But there is one above that is without the binary, that is the 29 that holds everything. That is the time of Hashem. And what I was thinking while I was listening to you is that we see this binary, we see this time to be happy and this time to be sad, this time to plant and this time to harvest. But in fact, there is something beyond this manifestation, binary manifestation. Today is raining, so I'm in a kind of mood, but it has a time that is beyond this one, that maybe is related with what you are speaking. That is like, let's say, more related to time of the grace. It's something that is beyond what we expect. I don't know if it makes sense, but just came to me and I'm sharing.
That's true. What we receive as a signal is the signal that is dressed in our reception system, not the thing itself. Let's say the sun is shining. Let's say, imaginary scene, the sun is shining. So different people will experience the sun mode of shining. One person say it is too hot, I'm not going outside. Another person would say, okay, it is hot, I'll put a hat, sunglasses, put a cream against UV radiation, I'll take water, I lower my time staying in the sun only when it is necessary, and I will portion the time that I'm staying. Another person would say, it's a good day to go to the swimming pool. Another person would say, it's a very good day to visit a friend because he has a vacation today. So the sun shining is one fact, but everybody is translating this day or this hour when the sun is shining into his flow or into his own receptivity or into his own intelligence system. Do we understand that?
Yes.
So,
and could we say,
yes.
Could you say that what we receive it's what is needed to make a connection, maybe to give voice to something? I don't know. I'm just wondering.
What we're receiving,
because
what we're receiving, each and every one of us gets a different signal, and it's good because what we receive is to benefit us. It is good that everyone has a different perspective, has another call about things. It is good because everyone is a different coin, so to speak. He has a different communication system, and he gets what fits him or her. When children, let's say, are being born into this life, they get a name, and with this name they will walk. John, Mary, and Paul, there are 3 babies are coming, they get their name, and they will walk with those names that they receive from the parents or relatives. But before they came and were born here as babies, what was their name? The Bible says in the first verse of Exodus, ואלה שמות בני ישראל הבאים מצרימה. And those are the names, and these are the names of the sons of Jacob who are coming or descending to Egypt. A name appears here only because there is a cut, in a way seemingly cut from the infinite. We cannot name a child which is not appearing here or is not born here yet, because it's part of the infinite. Whatever comes from the infinite and we achieve it, we can capture it in our mind in a name, is already being cut of the infinite. Let's say there is a table, and the table is made out of wood, but we say this is a table, or in Hebrew shulchan, because our senses get this is a table, because it's already being cut and put in the form, and our senses can perceive it as a table. But before it was a wood or a tree, before it came to manifest itself as a tree and then chopped into wood and then by the carpenter made a table, we could not call it a table. Meaning, once there's a name to something, it is already being cut from the infinite. I'm not sure this conversation is that clear, because it's very, very abstract.
Yes. No. It is clear. And we have two aspects. The first aspect is the consciousness that we have to take, because we forget a lot. So the consciousness of the processing, of the virtuous processing of the table, as you speak. Somebody had to plant the tree, cut the tree. A lot of people worked till it get to our home, let's say. So may we use it virtuously, because we have a lot of energy, and human energy and nature energy in a simple table,
Yes.
So may we could glorify the energy of many people that had worked in this table, or even in a bread, or even in a pasta or something, we can lift the spark, like Luria speaks, when we are conscious about the process till the infinite to our table. And this is one process that came to my mind. And the second process that I wish to ask you is, and how can we find the infinite, from the manifested? Because in this text, like I said, we can see the makom, we can see the kavod, we can see some elements that it seems that God is giving the hints, like, okay, I'm gonna let you see the crown. But he speaks a lot of steps to see this,
So it is an interesting question. Let's move here to this embroidery and see again, what does the artist come with? This is an interesting. We could think that this is, let's say this is Moses. Let's presume this is Moses in the hidden of the cleft. It looks like here an eye. An eye in Hebrew, ayin. Ayin, 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 yod, Nun Sofit. This is the I, Ayin. When we change the Ayin into Aleph, this is Ayin, meaning this is the infinite. This is what God says. This is an interesting painting here. Because God says, you cannot see me. It's impossible to see a bare light or a bare source in being dressed in a body, meaning ayin, human eye, and human body is also covered with skin. Oh, this is skin. So it is impossible that the human eye with ayin, which has dressed in a skin, in body, which is limited in time and space, can see me, the infinite, without perishing. Meaning the human vessel, whatever big it is, white it is, bright it is, can never capture the infinite. Only the actions, the signals that comes from the infinite, but not the infinite as it is for itself. All the sages along the history captured only, actions, Torah Poal, description, how God is great and gracious and merciful, Avarachamim, and so titles of him, but not as he is for himself. Also the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, are signal that comes from him, not him himself.
How is the word for titles in Hebrew, if I may ask you?
Title, koteret. Koteret is a title, but there's also to'ar, descriptive. We say God is mercy, the Father of mercy. Yes, Felipe is writing. The manifestation is on the 70, letter Ain. Yes. To'ar. I would like to say something. Let's say they are friends. Let's say friends, they're meeting, they're drinking coffee together. Maybe they grew up as children from the kindergarten. As adults, they still keep the relations between them. And they meet from time to time and they drink coffee. And one person has, let's say, many hours with his friends since they're children. They pass through a lot. They have a lot of shared history and maybe shared future together. And they have very good friendship between them. And they know if they're going through different moods or different modes. They're sensitive enough to their friends to know what they're going through. With all of this familiarity or deep friendship that they have, they still cannot know or encounter their friends as he is for himself. Only the signals that are coming from the friend. What makes flower a flower? Hello? Do we have
Eti,
Yes.
yes. It is because we can see the essence, like what points to its essence, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes me remember Plato, because he speaks, I can remember in Portuguese only, but it is like we cannot see the essence, but we can see the archetype, because it is what differentiates the flower from other things, you know. We can see the difference from other things. And it came also that the name of our letters, Havaya,
Yes.
because just before Havaya, it makes also remember from Kant that speaks that we can only see the manifestation and we cannot see the thing itself, right?
Yes.
And it's interesting because the name Havaya, we cannot speak the name, right?
Yes.
We can only speak the letters Yud, K, Vav, K. But with these letters, with these three letters, we can write the word being, the essence, right? We can write what is unnameable, that is the essence, right?
Yes.
The being itself.
So in a way, there is, and this is very good lesson in how do you say humility. And yes, last lesson. Yes, it was Shelton that mentioned the word anava, humility or humbleness. Whatever we experience, this is, I think it's, I also take it for daily life. Something happened today, this morning, and I noticed there's another way to see things. All the time there are ways to see things. It is not whatever we experience and whatever impression that we have, it's not the thing itself. It's just a signal that comes to us. And another day comes and another signal comes and things are changing. This is a very interesting lesson in growing.
Yes. The ability to see the symbol, to see that is a manifestation from something higher.
Yes.
The term that I was looking for is kinui.
Kinui, yes.
It's a pronoun, I think, or title. Why I said that? Because a sage that is that from the 15th century who wrote Ginate Goes, Vikatila.
Yes.
He has something written that is about this kinui,
Yes.
right? That is the title.
Yes.
And he speaks that the kinui, it's only the manifested. It is not God in himself, you know. And the gematria of kinui is 86, I think, which gives us the Elohim. So all the titles are related to Elohim.
Yes, all the titles, because they're external, related to Elohim. This is why Philon says that when Ishmael was born, when Abraham was 86, all those, the wisdom is, he's also relates to Kinui from Kan here. Kinui comes from Kan, excuse me. Kinui has the value of 86, like Elohim, like the age of Abraham when Ishmael was born. This is the manifestation, not the thing itself. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I find the test here. Yes. I could make a...
Yes.
The Kinui doesn't have the first Yod. It's only the last for Shikatil. I don't know if it's right or is the ancient Hebrew.
With the four letters, it has 86?
Yes, it's Kaf, Nun, Vav, and Yod for him.
Yes, I'll fix it. Kinui, 86. Kinui. Yes, from Kan, from here. Kinui. This is what I was trying to say, because when a person here has a name, let's say Juliet or Julia, so we say, hello, Julia. Here, at this time and space, she is named Julia. But for her essence, we don't know her. So if we even reckon a person with his name, and even we grew with a person for a couple of years together, we don't know them for themselves. Yes, and Felipe was writing here 2 comments. Vaireb says that Shoshana is the essence of an ideal flower. Yes, Shoshana, the flower that adorns the temple columns. And there's another 6 red petals, 6 white ones, and one of the infinite color, 3 petals, and 13 is the 7th prime number. Yes, meaning that is the unity and love. 13 that can be shown in the manifest 7. Excellent. This is why there in this dialogue that he says, I know you by your name. Yeda'aticha b'shem. This is what we think, that if people here, specifically in the Middle East, they know somebody by his name, they recognize who he is. He says here, right here, verse 17, and the Lord said unto Moses, גם את הדבר הזה אשר דיברת אעשה. I will do this thing also thou hast spoken. For thou hast found grace in my light, and I know thee by name. The question is, if we know a person which is named John, and we say John, and he turns to us and say, hello, hello. The fact that we know his name, do we know who he is?
Not at all.
Not at all. This is it. Not at all. Thank you, Felipe, for the quote.
This is very profound, because it affects all the structures if we think it in many ways, because what I wish to say is that sometimes we see the external manifestation of somebody, like the titles that someone carries, important person, from the things that he made in the world. And this external may be only it is not himself, like this picture that if you could go to the picture.
Sure.
It is interesting because the external things are beautiful and are flourishing, and it is good to the eyes. So it is symmetric, and it's it is very beautiful. But internally, the neshama, the soul, maybe the essence of the person, because we are all in reference to the Lord, we are all feminine, we are all passive,
Yes.
So maybe this internal eye is bleeding exactly because we can see a contrast here, the happiness of the outside, the flourishing, the symmetric that is showing to the world, the crown of grass, but internally the soul is bleeding, maybe. I don't know.
It is interesting because our physical eye cannot capture the infinite. So we're bleeding. Our temporal eye is bleeding because our temporal eye, ayin, the 70, like wine is red, and also 70 in Hebrew, cannot capture the infinite. Just what comes from the infinite, not the infinite itself. I was thinking about, let's say, the cat. There's a cat, her name is Muriel, and sometimes she behaves like this or like that. So we can describe the behavior of a cat, what she likes, what she dislikes, so, but we cannot say what is a cat for itself. The infinite is dressed also in a cat. So we can describe how the cat jumps, or how the cat plays, or how does the cat meow, but we cannot say what a cat is for itself. We can describe the Shoshana, as Felipe says, that it has like 13 petals and so, and the colors and so. This is very, very interesting, because it is like a very deep play on our mind and how we capture the world. We are educated to say this is a flower, this is a tree, this is a table, this is a bus station, and so on. This is a fish, this is a bird. And as we are children, we learn how to draw a bird and a tree, and this is it's so concrete. But it's ain't. And Philon speaks about it.
And Eti, could you say that? Oh,
Felipe is
here we
here.
have Felipe. Please, Felipe.
Felipe,
Yes.
please. We are very happy, finally.
I'm happy to be here. Now I can speak.
Thank
And just thinking, it makes me remember the. I guess it is Maimonides that speaks about the negative qualities, meaning that I don't know if it is his work, but he says that we cannot say what God is, only what God isn't.
Yes.
I just remember this because we see a cat, we see a table, we see everything, and we say this is a cat, this is a table. But we are only naming the manifest on it. We cannot say nothing about the essence. We are not seeing, I guess. I just was thinking, just remember this relation of Maimonides. I don't know if you think something about this, Eti.
Yes. Yes, we cannot speak about this thing. This is how, in a way, the book of Zohar, or Petach Eliyahu opens. Yes. Antuchad, Ribon Almin in Aramaic, Master of the Universes. Antuchad, you are one. Vela bechushban, and cannot be captured in a thought. En lanu, we don't have any how do you say, vessels to perceive the one. Not even in our thought, which the thinking is a very, very thin, I would say, sense. Not even in the thinking. We cannot capture.
Eti.
Yes.
I was just thinking about these openings of the head,
Mm-hmm.
and in a way I was just thinking what can we perceive with our senses that are not close related to us. I was thinking about the listening. We can listen some any sound of that it's being projected even very, very far out of us, from us. And also the smell, I guess we can scent the smell in the air from something that is sent far away from us, but we cannot see in something that it's really close to us, but it isn't in our in the landscape of our eyes. it could be just on our side, but if we cannot see, and just thinking about these relations with and the eyes are upper in the head. They I mean, we should be able to see things with our upper senses, but I guess we have to develop the third eye, the inner vision, because this, it's interesting, the hearing, the hearing, it's, in a way, it's more powerful than the eye. It is just a parallel relation with what we were talking about.
Yes, it is true. It is true.
Katie.
Yes.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, it is just amazing how we cannot see the things, but I'm sure that Felipe are seeing in this class many topics that we talked this week, and now they are clear. And also I was thinking about the tree of life and the tree of death, it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking that maybe this tree of death is only the external and the five senses.
Yes.
And the tree of life is related with this approach to the essence, to this. I think that Feinweb picks that is like this, stopping the force of development. It is like the going back to the one, the Teshuvah, right? And whatever, the Book of Zohar speaks it's a lot. But it's interesting that Felipe brought this idea about the five senses, because I was coming to the work and thinking about this topic of the two trees, and the idea that came to me is the tree of death maybe is related with the external and the five senses. So I don't know how he captured this approach, but it is in the air, maybe, it is something.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Felipe, would you like to say something?
No, just that it's interesting. We are just connected because you brought the some minutes ago, before class, we were talking. Fernanda and I were just touching in topics like I and nothing, and kotlot or, and things that you brought in class today in a glance, and it means that we are all connected in a way, and it's really beautiful. And this topic, Yeti, that the Keter aspect, the infinite, isn't shown for the eyes and the senses, but it's like it's manifested in everything. I guess in this way you were talking today. It was the first time I was listening to this. In this, we already discussed this in other ways, but in that way, it made me think, feel this truth in a different way, a different form. I was thinking about this cat popping up into the table, and there is this aspect of nothingness, of Ein, of infinite essence in it. And it was really impressive to feel this. Just to thank you about this approach.
Thank you. I was reading this verse, in the beginning of the week, and I think it was even last Shabbat, and I read the Tanya article about it. And I thought to myself, how can we bring it into conversation? Because this is a very, very deep, and mostly people do not speak about those things. And you came into class today, and though we had a little bit of technical glitch, we managed to speak about it. It is not so easy to speak about it, but I'm glad we managed, because it's a very, very dear topic. Very dear. Yes.
I'm sorry, please.
Yes.
Sorry, just one question. I can see the video again, but just to remember here, Keter was related with what words in Hebrew in the verses?
Oh, Keter, 1 second, at class, what I was writing?
Yes.
Yes, with, Ahorai, my back end. My back end. My back.
Yes.
Even the
yes,
way,
thanks.
I would say that even the way a flower looks, or a bee, the way the bee looks to us is the back end. The way we appear in the mirror to ourselves and even to others is the back end. The fact that each and every one of us has a name, this is the back end of the infinite. We have a name here, each and every one of us, because we appear in the finite. The table is called table or shulchan because the table appears in the finite. Do we understand this perspective? We call we call people and objects names. Why? Why we call them names? Because they appear in the manifested here. They appear here. So we give them a name. Shulchan, table, or a cat, or human name, because there's appearance.
Yes.
But as they are for them. Yes, please, Fernando. Please.
Could we say that this is from grace? Because it is like if it was the infinite, it will be too much to us. So maybe this time that we are here, like this little time from this conversation, we think that if we take the perspective that we came from the infinite and that we are here in this back end of time and space, and the things are particularized, like Felipe, Eti, and Fernando in this conversation.
Yes.
But in the end, we are all aspects of the same thing.
Yes.
Could we say that this particularization is an act of grace from Hashem, because it is with this particularization it is possible to work, it is possible to have a mirror or to understand properly. I don't know, because it will be too much if we do not have this back end.
Yes. This is a protection. Weinreb speaks about this in the book of Jonah. He speaks about the fact that we have a skin, without a skin. There's a beautiful speech to Jonah when the Kikayon dies, comes the worm and eat the Kikayon, and the Kikayon protects Jonah from the sun. And Weinreb moves and says that the value of Kikayon is like the value of skin, or, and basically God is telling Jonah, and Nineveh is in the east. In the east, Kedem, when there's, not Kedem east geographically, but what was before. And he says to Jonah that through the Kikayon, why are you so nervous or upset that the Kikayon is dead? You did not work for it to grow. You did not water it. And why are you upset when the Kikayon is gone? And Weinreb moves to say that the Kikayon has the value of skin, 277. And in other words, we could not exist here, all of us, if we did not have the protection of skin. The skin, or, stands against the light, or against. Here we have or in the right side of the, sorry, because I moved and I did not move the pen. 1 second. Here we have or in the right side. This is Kedem. This is the light. This is Kedem. And here on the other side of the mirror we have or, skin. Without skin, all of us could not exist. The or, the skin, this Ain, stands against the Aleph. Without the skin suit, the garments of leather or skin, we could not exist. We would melt. This is a very, very deep topic.
Indeed. Indeed it is. It makes me remember one what I read yesterday from Weinreb.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he speaks about the earth and the heavens. And it is like an analogy that he speaks about our blindness here in the earth,
Yes.
from what is happening in the heavens.
Yes.
But he speaks that once one is like permeable, I don't know how to speak this, but when someone permits that this influx from the heaven comes, it happens a marriage. It is like when we and comes the rain to fructify the ground. It is like the conscious and the unconscious, what we see and what we do not see. He speaks that when we go back and understand that what we see it's not everything, we permit that the heaven approaches. It is like we make a relationship with heavens and permit that the water came down and fructify the land and everything. So what I am saying here it is that from what you speak today, we could say that if we are aware that we are only in the back end and do not take it too serious,
Yes.
do not take it too rigid,
Yes.
we can permit that the heavens announce the greatness of the Hashem, maybe.
That's correct. That's correct, because if we are stiff, it's like what we find later in the book of Deuteronomy, that God says, I will put a pan your sky will become a pan that separates, you know. So if we're not rigid, we permit the infinite have an access, and it's beautiful when the rain comes. If we are rigid, that's like an armor around ourselves. If we believe that what we see is everything and I know everything, is like a person who, like from the Middle Ages, who has an armor of steel or from tin, and very rigid. He seemingly feels very protected in how he perceives his life, but there is no access to him. He cannot access the world cannot access to him. But if we say, okay, well, today I experienced or something came like this or like that, it's not the absolute, it probably I did not see everything, it just was a communication. I tried to, we do our best. So it takes humility, we're being humble, and let life approach us. Felipe?
It's for another time, but it makes me remember Isaiah
Mm-hmm.
2, because it's very similar, the idea from what Moses received, like to go to the rock, you know, because all the greatness of the man will be drowned up, and everything will disappear. All the idols will disappear completely when Hashem comes, you know. And the man must be little. So it is interesting because it is almost a psychological approach that Isaiah makes with this prophecy. Like what you said about the man with the armor, I can remember the class that you gave us about Goliath.
Yeah.
You know, the man with the armor is the big man. It is somebody that has a lot of titles. It is somebody that has a lot of things. And Isaiah said that in the end of the days, it will you have to go to the rock, like this new picture that you brought today. You have to go inside. You have to become little. You know, to become very little.
Yes. In a way, we all come from the infinite, from the Ein, from the Aleph, and we are manifested for a certain time in flesh. So we become 70, the Aleph turns into Ein, we become like in the 70, we have body, we believe for a while that we are our body only, but the aim is to recognize, though we are manifested in bodies, our origin. That in a way the red eye that we see here in the painting, the bleeding eye, the limited eye, will recognize its origin. And its origin here is the infinite. This is the thing that will be a recognition in a way. That what is manifested here as body has one source. And this is, I think about it quite often, almost every day. About being here in a body and how it is temporal, our being here. Then comes another stage when the four letters are leaving, or this DNA, spiritual DNA, leaves the flesh, the body stays behind, and we continue as a general spirit in the world. I think about this every day.
In what sense, Eti? Could you explain? Just Why you
It
think
is.
this every day?
Every day is because when I think about this, it makes a relation. It puts a relation to my actions every day. That my actions and my thoughts will be tuned with the infinite. Because people think, live life, what to. It doesn't have. So I do what I do, and I go and I drink something, and I go with friends, and nothing really matters. But if I think about this almost every day, that we are here only for a short while. Nobody knows his time, like David says, nobody knows. And since nobody knows his day, so I try every day to live every day as a full circle, life circle, to do the most
Wow.
possible, yes, because who knows? And
Yes.
yes, so it is, who knows what we're doing here, you know? So
This is beautiful. Hello.
yes, and from this, Fernando, from this thinking, everything else comes from this thoughts. Who knows? And try uh, to communicate to the world as much as possible, but also to retreat. It's interesting relations to communicate as much as possible, but to retreat inside and to understand that there's a limitation. So it just, it's just interesting dance, I would call it. So I wanted to share it with you. This is it.
This is beautiful, and I often think like with this frame you brought it. I know we are out of time, but thinking about how could we stay in this mindset and also be light with our actions and everything else, thoughts and words, and because sometimes I don't know, it's hard to balance the Chesed and the Gebura,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just it. I guess it's the work of it's the major work we have to do, this balance.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's true.
If I understood well, like it is. I think, Felipe, that it's more than a balance, because from what I was listening here and thinking, I don't know why, but today I was with this idea of the tree of life and the tree of death, and from what I heard here, it is like if we get the absolute point of view, this frame of thinking that we are only the back end and we need to retreat as well. We need to make the connection and we need to retreat. It is like you are putting in everything the tree of life, right? You are
Yes,
like
yes,
bringing the chesed everywhere, because I don't know if it is possible, because we need to work, we need to, make things that sometimes doesn't have sense. And I was just wondering how to put this tree of life in everything, and you brought it, the idea, like to see that everything is a miracle, and and we are like carrying something from the infinite, so
yes,
all the time.
yes. it is interesting. It doesn't have to be something specific that we do, but just to recognize that we are existing miracle for a while here, and to notice that, wow, there's beautiful palm tree there. It's amazing. And because people have like trouble of the day, somebody wrote an email, something came like that, and people wrote a newsletter. People have all kinds of things. And sometimes people are drowning in casual things, and it's like, what? This palm just stand here because there's a great sun to support it, and it's so beautiful, and no man could create such a world with air and ocean and trees and human. Not a person came into laboratory and says, let's make an experiment. No, this is a thought, a very deep thought that brought all the universes and us together here. And wow. Wow. So, you know.
It is beautiful and amazing. And I thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Because we tend to think that is not so much to listen to this and to see how a friend that we care about sees the world, but it heals us, it heals me, and it is like it makes the connection. It allows the conversation, allows the connection with the infinite, because we open so much the vessel that the light is possible to come. And it's interesting, the sun just came out. We here in Porto Alegre, we were in the beginning with a lot of cloudy weather, and now the sun came out as well, just as this class. So I thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming here. It's a very beautiful day. It's like 2 B'Av. This is 15 of Av. This is a full moon. This is how do you say, the holiday of love. Yes, here in the region, this is a biblical origin, this holiday. And so Chag Ahava Sameach Lekulam, like a very happy love holiday for everyone.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
holiday, Eti.
Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
Infinite love. Thank you. We shall meet here on Monday. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
thank you,
much.
Thank you, Felipe.
Thank you.
Shalom,
Bye
my friends.
bye. Shalom, shalom.